We know their names. We tell their stories. Michael, the commander who leads the armies of heaven. Gabriel, the messenger who delivers the words that change the course of history. Raphael, the healer who walks beside us in our trials. They are the archangels, princes of the celestial kingdom, mighty and revered. But there is a place in heaven so intensely holy, a chamber of reality so saturated with the pure presence of God that not even they can enter. A sacred space beyond action, beyond messages, beyond war. It is the throne room, and it is guarded not by soldiers or messengers, but by living flames. Only one kind of angel stands before the throne itself, the seraphim. And to understand why they exist and why they burn forever, you must first understand the secret architecture of heaven. Heaven is not a single, homogeneous plane of existence. It is a kingdom, a cosmos, infinitely more complex and ordered than any earthly empire. Ancient traditions, mystics, and theologians like Pseudo-Dionysius the Areopagite described this divine structure as the celestial hierarchy. 9 orders, or choirs, thauas, of angels arranged in 3 distinct spheres. Each sphere has a purpose. Each choir has a function. And as you ascend through them, you move further from the concerns of earth and closer to the unbearable, beautiful fire of God Himself. Let's begin where we are most familiar, the 3rd sphere. These are the angels of action, the ones who interact directly with our world. At the lowest rank are the angels themselves. These are our personal guardians, the celestial beings assigned to guide, protect, and whisper encouragement to individual souls. They are the foot soldiers of divine love, engaged in the intimate, personal struggle of every human life. Above them stand the archangels. Their missions are not personal, they are historical. They are sent to nations to guide the destiny of peoples and to announce the pivotal moments of salvation history. When Gabriel spoke to Mary, it wasn't just a message, it was the hinge upon which the world would turn. When Michael defends the church, he isn't just protecting a building, he is safeguarding a covenant. They are the grand strategists and divine diplomats of heaven. At the top of this sphere are the principalities. They are the overseeing princes, the guardians of entire cities, nations, and cultures. They work on a vast scale, ensuring that the great movements of human history, even amidst chaos and free will, ultimately align with the divine plan. Their focus is the world itself, in its broadest sense. This entire sphere, angels, archangels, and principalities, is turned towards us. Their gaze is upon creation, but their power, their orders, their very existence flows from a higher source. To find that source, we must ascend to the 2nd sphere, the angels of order, the cosmic governors. These beings are not concerned with individual souls or even nations. Their domain is creation itself. First among them are the powers. Their primary role is to maintain the cosmic border. They are the first line of defense against the demonic hosts, ensuring that the chaotic forces of hell are contained and cannot overwhelm the order of the universe. They don't fight for a soul. They fight for the integrity of reality itself. Next are the virtues. They are the conduits of divine power that sustain the natural world. They are the keepers of the laws of physics, the spirits who channel God's energy to move the stars, to fuel the sun, and to allow for the possibility of miracles. When grace enters the world, it is often through the work of the virtues. They are the engineers of God's creation, ensuring its flawless operation. At the peak of this 2nd sphere are the dominions. They are the celestial governors, the divine managers. They receive the commands from the highest sphere and translate them into actionable tasks for all the lower angelic orders. They are the lords who ensure that the will of God cascades down through the hierarchies with perfect harmony and without corruption. They are the embodiment of ordered authority, powers who guard reality, virtues who engineer the cosmos, dominions who govern the governors. These are beings of unimaginable power and scope, but even they do not see the face of God. They are still intermediaries, looking upward towards a source of glory so immense they themselves are but reflections, a fire so bright it would incinerate anything not specifically designed to withstand it. So, what lies beyond them? What kind of being exists so close to the throne that they need no orders, for their very existence is the order? The answer lies within the first sphere, the realm of pure presence, and that is a mystery that changes everything. We have journeyed past the angels of action who fight our battles and guide our world. We have ascended beyond the cosmic governors, the celestial lords who maintain the fabric of reality itself. We now stand at the threshold of the first sphere, the inner court of the Almighty. Here, angels do not have missions. Their very being is their mission. They do not carry out orders. They are living expressions of the divine nature. First in this sacred realm are the thrones, or the Ophanim, as the prophet Ezekiel called them. Forget any image you have of a humanoid angel. The thrones are something else entirely. Ezekiel described them as great wheels of burning fire, covered in countless eyes, moving in perfect unison because the spirit of the Creator is within them. They are not judges who weigh evidence. They are divine justice. They are the living, breathing embodiment of God's perfect, unshakable judgment and sublime stability. They contemplate the will and justice of God, and in their contemplation, that divine order is established. They are the foundation upon which the throne of glory rests. To gaze upon the thrones is to understand that the universe is not random. It is built on a foundation of perfect, unwavering righteousness. Next, we encounter the cherubim. These are the guardians of divine wisdom and glory. Once again, their form transcends simple description. They are often depicted with 4 faces, that of a man, a lion, an ox, and an eagle, symbolizing that they possess all the faculties of creation in their most perfect state. The intelligence of humanity, the nobility of the lion, the strength of the ox, and the piercing vision of the eagle. Their duty is to guard the sacred. It was the cherubim who were placed at the east of the Garden of Eden, their flaming swords turning every which way to guard the way to the tree of life. They are the keepers of celestial secrets and divine mysteries. While the thrones embody God's justice, the cherubim embody His infinite knowledge. And here lies a great and terrible mystery. For tradition holds that the most magnificent of all cherubim, the most brilliant keeper of God's light and wisdom, was an angel named Lucifer. His role was to be a vessel of divine knowledge, but his pride corrupted that knowledge. He turned wisdom into a tool for self-glorification. His fall was a fall from the very seat of celestial wisdom, a warning that knowledge without love leads only to ruin. This is the key. Justice, knowledge. These are immense divine attributes. But they are not the ultimate attribute. There is one choir that stands even higher, one order of being that exists in a state so pure, so intense, it transcends even the guardians of glory and the foundations of justice. They are the pinnacle of creation. We are about to enter the inner sanctum, the fire at the heart of reality. To ensure you do not miss the final steps of this ascent into the mystery of God's throne, subscribe now to Celestium and join us on this sacred journey. We have passed the thrones of justice and the keepers of knowledge. Now, we approach the fire itself. What is the secret of the highest choir in all of heaven? What is the purpose of the burning ones? We have left behind the realms of action and order. We have passed the thrones of justice and the cherubim of knowledge. We now approach the fire itself, the very heart of the celestial kingdom, to answer the final question. What is the purpose of the burning ones? They are the seraphim. The name itself, from the Hebrew seraph, means to burn. They are the fiery ones. But this is not the fire of destruction or judgment. It is the uncreated fire of divine love, burning with an intensity that would vaporize any lesser being. They are the closest of all creation to God. The only mortal to ever give a clear account of them was the prophet Isaiah. In a vision that would define his life, he was lifted into the throne room of heaven. He saw the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. But what Isaiah saw above the throne stunned him into silence. He saw the seraphim, and he described them with 6 wings. This detail is not poetic. It is a profound theological key. With 2 wings, they covered their faces. This is the ultimate act of holy reverence. Not even the highest and purest of all created beings can endure the direct, unveiled glory of the Almighty. The closer a being gets to God, the more profound their humility becomes. They are so consumed by the beauty of God that they must shield their own eyes, overwhelmed by the very thing they were created to behold. With 2 wings, they covered their feet. In the ancient world, feet were a symbol of one's connection to the earth, of one's lowliness. For a seraph to cover its feet is a perpetual acknowledgement of its created nature before the uncreated Creator. It is a silent, constant declaration. I am a creature. You are the source of all. And with 2 wings, they did fly. But this was not flight as we know it. They did not travel. They hovered. They remained in their place, sustained in the air by the sheer force of their adoration. Their worship is what gives them motion. They are in a constant, dynamic state of loving praise, and from them came a sound, a cry that they exchange with one another, back and forth, for all eternity. The song that shook the foundations of the heavenly temple in Isaiah's vision. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. This is the Trisagion, the thrice holy hymn. The repetition is not for emphasis, it is for perfection. Christian mystics have seen in it a timeless acknowledgement of the Holy Trinity. This song is not a performance, it is a force of reality. It is the sound of God's own nature being perfectly perceived and perfectly praised, and that praise echoes out, sustaining all of creation. In the presence of this, Isaiah, a holy prophet, cried out in despair, "Woe is me, for I am lost, for I am a man of unclean lips." He was undone. The absolute purity of the seraphim revealed his own smallest imperfection as an unbearable stain. And this is where we see their only recorded action. One of the seraphim flew to him, but it did not speak words of comfort. It flew to the heavenly altar, took a live burning coal with tongs, and pressed it to Isaiah's lips. And it said, "Behold, this has touched your lips, your guilt is taken away, and your sin atoned for." This is their purpose. They are agents of purification. But the fire they wield is not their own. It is a coal from God's own altar. They are conduits of the purifying, cauterizing, all-consuming fire of divine love. Their existence is a constant testament that God's love is not a gentle sentiment. It is a holy fire. The seraphim are not just worshippers. They are a living reality of that fire. But how does this highest of mysteries, this burning love from the heart of heaven, relate to us? If The seraphim burn before the throne. What does that mean for the human heart, which is called to be its own kind of temple? The final secret of the seraphim is not about them. It's about us. The final secret of the seraphim is not a fact about them, but a truth about us. The celestial hierarchy is not just a map of heaven, it is a map of the soul's potential. While we are not pure spirits like the angels, every human being was created with a seraphic capacity. We were made in the image of God, designed for a communion so deep it can only be described as a fire. An angel's nature is fixed. They made their choice in the first dawn of creation, and they are eternally what they chose to be. But humanity is different. We live in time. We are a union of spirit and matter, of dust and divinity. And in this lies our unique, perilous, and glorious vocation. A seraph is a perfect flame, but a human can become one. A sinner can become a saint. Our entire life is an opportunity to turn the spark of divine life within us into a blaze of holy love. The throne of God is not only in the highest heaven. For us, its truest location is in the sacred temple of the inner self, and it is there that we can learn the lesson of the seraphim. What does it mean for us to cover our face before God? It means humility. It is the prayer of silence, where we quiet our own thoughts, abandon our own agendas, and admit that our intellect cannot contain the mystery of God. It is to stop talking and finally begin to listen. What does it mean for us to cover our feet? It means purity of intention. It is to examine our motivations and cleanse our walk through the world. It is to serve God not for the rewards or the recognition, but simply because He is God. It is to strive to act in the world with a clean heart. And what does it mean for us to fly? It means to be lifted by love. When we perform an act of pure, selfless charity, when we forgive when it is easier to hold a grudge, when we choose sacrifice over self-interest, in those moments, we are not acting on our own strength. We are being carried by the seraphic fire of divine love. We echo their flight. This is the path to holiness, but it is not a path of comfort. Remember Isaiah. His encounter with the holy fire was not gentle. It was painful. He was undone. The burning coal that purified his lips was an act of grace, but it was a severe grace. In our own lives, this purifying fire often takes the form of trials. The dark night of the soul, the unexplained suffering, the moments when our faith is stripped down to nothing. We see it as an abandonment, but from the perspective of heaven, it may be a seraphic touch. It may be the burning coal from God's altar, sent to cauterize our pride, to burn away our attachments, to purify our lips so that we too can sing a new song. The goal of God is not our comfort, it is our sanctification. We began this journey with the great archangels, the warriors and messengers we can call upon in our daily struggles, and it is right to do so. But we end it with the seraphim, a quiet, burning reminder of our ultimate destiny. The purpose of the spiritual life is not just to win the war, but to be united with the King. It is not just to be protected by the light, but to become the light. The final victory is not found in strength or knowledge, but in surrendering completely to the holy, purifying, all-consuming fire of divine love. If this journey into the heart of heaven has ignited something within you, show your support with a like. It helps these mysteries reach more souls who are searching. And share your thoughts in the comments. How do you try to find that sacred silence in a noisy world? Your testimony is a light for others. Do not let this journey end here. On your screen now are 2 videos. Both are deeply connected to the celestial realities we have explored today. Click on one to continue your ascent. Because the battle for your soul is real, but the love that awaits you at the center of it all is even realer.